What it do? Welcome to Club32, the Gridiron Podcast, the People's Podcast. We keep it real, no fluff, no filters. I'm your host, Ron, and I got my guest in here with me, a brother from another trail with me. And we came back to recap the matchup between the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Indianapolis Colts. Jacksonville taking 23 to the Colts 17. We're going to dive right into it. But before we do, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that bell so you can stay in the loop with Club 32. Let's go. All right. All right, jumping straight into it, Jacksonville extended his winning streak to 7 games, clinched the critical division win on the road, and now controls his destiny in the AFC South. Indianapolis season spiraled to another loss, ending up in eliminating them from playoff contention with 6 straight defeats. I ain't mad at it. I'm a Tennessee Titans fan, so I'm happy to see. And I can't even be mad at Jacksonville though. They doing all right. Hey, honestly, they might be the scariest team entering the playoffs. Man, they got a nice defense. Offense is potent. You got to be careful, man. You got to look at who they done beat this year. They done beat a lot of the top teams. They done beat the 49ers. They done beat the Rams. Beat the who else they beat? They done beat the Texans. They done beat a lot of these top defenses.
Yeah, they beat the Broncos. They beat the Broncos. Was that the game before that? 2 weeks ago?
Yeah.
They beat the Broncos. And look, it's crazy. I had Lawrence as my fantasy quarterback. I dropped that down. I dropped his ass, and he fucking around and went crazy on them. I was like, damn. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, Trevor, he on one right now, man.
Definitely on one. They showcased their identity once again. They was winning ugly, but they was hanging in there tough, doing just enough to finish with a hard-earned victory. Their resilience turned into one of the most dangerous teams in the AFC. I'm gonna keep saying it. Like you say, look, Trevor Lawrence might got some MVP momentum. I mean, he delivered another big performance, mixing efficient passing with decisive rushing ability. Like you said, 2 rushing touchdowns, 263 yards through the air, proving his dual threat value is real and playoff ready.
Right.
Talk about it, man. Talk about it.
Yeah, he definitely, man. He might, I don't know, man. He might be outside that the MVP, man, because they looking at what's your boy from New England? Drake May.
Drake May.
You know what I'm saying? He probably be one of the top ones to be, considered for the MVP voting. MVP.
Yeah.
But I mean, I ain't gonna take nothing away from Jacksonville though, man. Jacksonville, they trying, man. They, last year they weren't doing too much. This year they kind of, they switched coaches.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Got a offensive identity now. Because at one point I ain't know what the hell they was going, what they was doing with it. And then, of course they did add Travis Hunter, but of course he got hurt. And so. If he would have still been around, I don't know, man. I might want to catapult them to like the number 1 for real. They would have had so many weapons on the offensive side. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I can see them winning the playoff game though.
Yeah, they probably win 1 or 2. Who
especially they. Who was that?
The Colts. Huh.
Oh yeah. Nah, well shit.
Start. Now, how you go? You went from an 8-2 start to an 8-8 finish. Completed it with 6 straight losses. They just simply couldn't sustain the early season promise, and now finishing outside the playoff picture. That's crazy, man.
Right.
Look, Jacksonville, they defense clutched late. Defense came up with a massive 4th quarter interception and late stops that flipped the momentum and sealed the win. This unit is peaking at the right time. I say they really are building on their momentum going straight into the playoffs. Like it's their form. And like I said, I think they're one of the most dangerous teams because of their reputation, like not of this year, but overall. It's one of the teams you just don't fear that much. So it's like, wow.
Right. Well, Jacksonville, they done had some squads, man. They had some squads, you know what I'm saying? Like, so I think one time when they went up against Tom Brady and the Patriots, man, they had the game.
Yeah,
they blew that joint. Yeah, they blew that game. Yeah, man, they blew that joint. So I'm like, it just, I guess, certain things, man, they got to draft right. They got to make the right free agent moves. I mean, so like you said, the defense, man, boy, what's his name? Devin Lloyd. He getting crazy over there. They got a couple guys over there, man, that's going to really, they really get down, lead that defense.
The But the offensive balance really pays off. When you look at how Trevor Lawrence, he mixed some short passes with some deep shots, has some smart zone read keeps, while Jacksonville's rushing attack controlled the tough yardage when it really mattered the most. The balanced attack is what really kept the Colts defense guessing all day. And then, like, for Trevor, he completed, 23 of 37, 263. He did have an interception, but he also ran into. And he gave up some of them key red zone punches when the team really tried to pull through. Because as you can see, it was kind of 23-17. It wasn't that much separation throughout the game. I mean, they did have some red zone mistakes despite winning. They had several stalled drives and some turnovers inside the Colts 20, showing that even though they winning, they still got some things they want to fix on that execution point going into the red zone. Because the playoffs are a different beast, man. Because, I mean, you look at, all the potential teams that they got to play, and that's what I'm saying. If I don't think they want to see Denver because I think Denver want their get back.
Nah, true. Yeah, but shit, for real, like, I don't know who got the, shit, well, for real, it's going through, we don't know who got home field advantage yet, dude.
No, they ran in the seat right now, and honestly, they play the Chargers next. I don't know.
Right.
Chargers,
Chargers, I think they in too, ain't it? I think the Chargers in.
They in, but they're not a high seed. Like
right, yeah. Then I seen that Herbert, he might not play, so you know what I mean? That's another, you know what I mean? I don't know how that's gonna go, but shit, man. I think they got Trey Lance to back up, so I don't know. They might probably be resting their starters for real. If that's the case, they already in.
I was just telling somebody don't nothing change for a lot of these teams this week. The only meaningful games I think is I know the Panthers and the Bucks. Whoever win that game in.
Yeah, and they're gonna be because the Bucks win. They're gonna be 8-9. You know, they're gonna be under 500. That's crazy. But I mean, it's happened before. You know what I'm saying? But it's just like, they 8-9. I don't know, man. I really think. I mean, I can see. I don't know. The AFC, man, it might be wide open, man. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know which team come out there, man. But I mean, it looking like the Patriots might be the top team. But then again, they have some issues when they got down, can't score or whatnot. Yo.
Oh. Nah, we good. I don't know. We doing stuff. But look, let's talk about how the Colts really stalled in the second half. Indianapolis only scored 7 points after halftime, ultimately failing to sustain any offensive momentum and keep pace with Jacksonville's consistency. Jonathan Taylor had a tough day. He grounded out 70 rushing yards in a touchdown, but really couldn't take over the game as they really needed him to do like he usually does. They didn't have that explosiveness on the ground, and then, just
I think for Nah, I think he was banged up too. That's why they got Phil. That's why they both Phil in that joint. Because Riley Leonard was hurt. Yeah, so I think it was just too little, too late for Indy, man. You know what I'm saying? They try to recoup some of that success early on in the season, but you got a lot of teams that are playing harder, want to get in the playoffs. And I think right now, once they lost Daniel Jones, I really think that was a wrap for them anyway.
Yeah, that was it. They definitely bring him back.
You know what I mean? Phil did what he can do, but 44 years old. Yeah, 44 years old. I don't think he's gonna be doing it too, but he did. He looked good though. I ain't gonna lie, he did look good.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Especially just to come off the couch in the middle of the season, haven't played in 5 years.
Right. Then he got about 10 kids. So you ain't expecting to have them legs for real.
He built like he got 10 kids, man.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, so he didn't expect the man to come out there. He had no legs for real. Be out there throwing and standing up in the pocket like that. So that's crazy, man. Mm-hmm.
And look, I would toss out some of these grades to some of these players and just highlight some of these performances or duds, if you will. We'll jump into that in just a moment. All right, jumping back into it, looking at some of these grades for some of the players from the game. We're going to start with Trevor Lawrence, Jacksonville quarterback. Give him an A-, 263 passing yards, 2 rushing touchdowns, no passing. Did have 1 interception, but was the key runner in goal line situations and composure and clutch drives. Up next, looking at Jacksonville's defensive back, Devin Witherspoon. We'll give him a B+. Made the critical fourth quarter interception that helped seal the win and help swing momentum for the team. Next up, Parker Washington, Jacksonville wide receiver. Going to give him an A. Second straight 100-yard receiving effort, 115 yards on 8 catches, proven to be Lawrence's most reliable target so far. Next up, Jacksonville running back, Travis Etienne Jr. I'm going to give him a B. He was effective on the ground, sustained 2 tough yardage late, 2 situations where they had to really keep the clock moving. He did his thing. Wasn't that explosive, but he did what he had to do to help keep drives alive and keep the team moving. As far as Jacksonville's defensive front 7, I'm going to give him a B+. It had late pressure and turnover creation compensated for some of the early red zone defensive lapses. Moving over to the Colts, Phillip Rivers. Look, we all love Phillip. It's good to see him back. He ain't win. I wish he would at least won one of the games, but nonetheless, in this one, I'm going to give him a C. He had 147 passing yards with a touchdown and an interception, though. Still kept that veteran presence, but was unable to elevate the offense consistently. I'm sorry. Jonathan Taylor, Indianapolis running back. Gonna give him a B-. He had a strong grind on the ground, but he really had a limited impact when the Colts needed explosive plays. Michael Pittman Jr., the Indianapolis wide receiver, I'm going to give him a solid B. He did what he could, but had limited targets and was struggling in the second half offense. Wasn't able to really create the separation that he needed. And as far as the Colts defense as a whole in the secondary, just going to give him a C-. They kept it close early, but they couldn't contain the Jaguars' late drives and couldn't really create any difference on crucial downs. Now, looking at some of these implications and what's next, the Jaguars seem to be on the road. With this win, Jacksonville extended his winning streak to 7, elevated his resume in the AFC South playoff hunt. That's just the South. And now sits in firm position to not just win the AFC South, sure, but potentially secure a first-round bye. Lawrence's MVP case, while not the top in the league in raw stats, Lawrence's stretch over these last 7 games has been among the most efficient and clutch in the league. His ability to impact, balance, and manage pressure is earning him some elite consideration. You agree with me, bro, or am I reaching too much with the MVP comps?
What, as far as Trevor Lawrence?
Yeah.
Man, for real, they probably judge it off overall season. But like you said, these last 2 or 3 games, you know what I'm saying? Trevor been leading the way. So it's like, he might get considered for MVP voting, but he might get 1 or 2 votes maybe. He might not get the majority of any type of votes. He might get like 1 or 2 votes from somebody. Probably be like the fifth and 5th in MVP voting or something like that. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. Yeah. I can see that. But he can get some votes, but more so if this was a real letdown for the Colts. Looking at how they start off their season, and to kind of remind me when was it the Cardinals that did that one time when they went like 8-0, 10-0, and then just somebody had that same thing happen that 2 weeks. But it's tough,
I don't know. I can't remember.
It's tough. And after this loss right now, the team just faced a whole lot of off-season questions on the quarterback direction and the identity of the team.
No, for real, because they still got Anthony Richardson. Don't know what they're gonna do with him.
Mm-hmm.
Daniel Jones, I'm assuming Daniel Jones was shit. I forget he had a season-ending injury, so you don't know his timetable coming back. And then I don't think Phil he coming back. I think this is a little trial run. It really gave him. It really reset his health insurance. So they said some shit like he would have ran out, like it was like I guess it was ending. Being he been on the league for like almost 5 years now. So they saying like the insurance was gonna run out, but by him been signed to a team, it's gonna continue, and for another how many years? I guess it continues for. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, well,
Well,
yeah,
hey,
Colts they got a lot, but I really think they'll have a solid defense coming back because they got sauce, they got some
yeah,
pieces over there on the defensive side. You know what I mean? So I think the dude, the Forrest Buckner, he was hurt, and Sauce, Sauce was banged up, but I think he did play, but it was more like they don't
yeah.
throw it aside. So we
They'll
don't
get
throw
back
it
on.
aside. I mean, what you supposed to do? You know what I'm saying? So
What can you do?
I think they got a lot
Hey,
of. They might not have a lot of questions, but I feel like they patch some things up. They'll be back again, especially in the AFC South. You know what I mean? Like sometimes that joke could be, that division can be up for
yeah,
grabs for anybody.
yeah. I know. Don't worry about it. We coming to get it next year though.
Nah, look, hey, look,
We
man,
coming next year,
you
man.
gotta look. Hey, Cam Ward, that dude,
He is.
he just needs some protection
Yeah,
and he needs some goddamn weapons.
he is.
You know what I'm saying? Because y'all always had a kind of like a little solid, defense. You know what I'm saying? But I think if they continue to build around them, shit, yeah, he might be I think him and Houston, was it boy CJ Stroud, they might be going at it for a
Yeah,
while if they can, get their shit up.
yeah. Definitely, I can see that. It's gonna be crazy. They definitely. It's definitely gonna get crazy next year because I can see it. These last since he came back from the bye, he's definitely been a lot better. And these last few games, man, them boys playing, and I can see that, and I love it. I'm letting, I can I can take this as a core to build around, and that's cool. But
Right.
nonetheless, like we look because we play them next. So we play. So Jacksonville come to us. Play Tennessee next. No. We
Well,
go
I
play
mean, yeah,
Tennessee.
and I really look for y'all to probably gonna play them hard anyway. You know what I'm
Oh
saying?
yeah,
Y'all gonna
I
play them
think it
tough
is.
anyway. So
I
I
think so.
mean, and, like I said, Jacksonville, I think they just more so trying to fight for that number one seed. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure they're gonna come to play too. So that should be a good game.
Hey, look, Jacksonville coming to Week 18, locked into a battle for the AFC South crown, hosting Tennessee with a chance to clinch the division at home provides a strategic advantage. The Jaguars thrive in hostile environments and have a balanced offensive attack and can wear down opponents late in games. So, you know, that's a good swagger that they have right now and going into the postseason. But their recent winning streak has built both confidence and cohesion among the team, particularly on defense in crunch time. However, the red zone execution and turnover avoidance remain focal points for improvement heading into the postseason. The Jaguars have the talent and the coaching to not only secure the division, but also make a deep playoff run if they keep this momentum and tighten up the situational play execution. But then when I look over here at Indianapolis, I mean, they now face the season finale that feels like a crossroads. After blowing off a playoff opportunity and sustaining a six-game losing streak, the Colts will now look to elevate their maybe some of their younger players to try to get a evaluation of them to try to look at some of the future pieces that they have and understand how they're going to develop heading into their offseason. I mean,
Right.
they go against Houston for their final game, and this season has just been a tale of two stretches. A promising start followed by a horrible collapse. And the coaching staff and decisions, the quarterback direction, the defensive identity will all be under scrutiny heading into the offseason. I mean, their ability to finish with any type of winning momentum going into the offseason could have some type of impact on their roster construction or how they're going to really build it. They just got to find that consistency of spark in this last game and hopefully from some of their emerging players to try to end on a more positive note. But nonetheless, I said it, man. I ain't no hater, man. I said this earlier. And it wasn't even them, but it was the people that they played. I was like, look, who they didn't. At the beginning,
Well, I
it
mean,
was looking like
yeah, because
so.
they
But see how teams start, build their identity out. It's
right.
like, who is that? Like them, they play some bad teams now. Cause you don't really know who won
Yeah,
until like
I
the end of
mean,
October.
yeah. So I don't know the coach, the strength of schedule they had, but their schedule probably was an easy schedule early on. You know what I'm saying? Because they was
It
running through
was,
teams. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
So when these teams
it
have
was.
these weak schedules, You know what I mean? It's easy for them to come up and be in the running for playoff or division crown or what I'm saying, whatever. But yeah, the strength of schedule will always play a part sometime in how teams perform early on in the season.
Yeah, and that's another thing we don't consider. Like when I look at Cam Ward, like we done had the toughest strength of schedule. He done play all top 10 defenses all year.
Right.
Like you know what I'm saying? Like I'm cool with that. That's good for his development. The biggest thing for me is I believe that they're gonna make the proper moves in the offseason, but it's more so the coaching, just nailing the right coach. That's what it's going to boil down to. Because we got to get right. Got to get that culture straight. Look, we're gonna take this jump. In the pivotal Week 17 class, Jacksonville's grit overcame Indianapolis' collapse. Trevor Lawrence has continued to assert himself as the heartbeat of the Jacksonville offense, mixing precision passing with dynamic running that defenses struggle to contain. Meanwhile, the Colts' roller coaster of a year reached its low point, a frustrating end that underscored missed opportunities and the need for structural adjustments. For the Jaguars, the season is far from over, and it could get very loud in Jacksonville in just a little bit. And for the Colts, the questions loom over their identity and their leadership and how to return to contention next year. And with that being said, that's another one in the books, Club 32. I want to thank you for coming through and hanging out with the crew. We just fans of the game to come on here and you can talk on here and do the same. If you do want to come and be on the show, all you got to do is just email me at club32gp@gmail.com, subject line Club32Guest. Make sure to follow us on all social platforms at Club32GP on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, YouTube. We're on all of it. Stay connected with the club for all of our NFL breakdowns and for your chance to be a guest on the show and represent your squad the way they meant to be represented. Hey, anything you got to say before we take it out here, bro?
Hey, man, see you next time.
And just like that, until next time, it's been real. And good luck with your team, because we're going to talk about them too. Appreciate you. Be safe. We out.